Hello and welcome to WJTS in.form. Well, we've jumped outside because we're going to do something a little different in this edition of WJTS in.form. We're going to be talking about canine units with the Indiana State Police. And joining me is Trooper Brian LaRoche, and he is the dog handler.
Yes.
Were you a trooper before you were a dog handler?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I guess when you went to trooper school or police school, the police academy, did you think about being a canine handler?
Not right away, just the opportunity wasn't there, and then it presented itself down the road, and I was always involved in the drug work, so having a canine just helped out a lot with
Okay,
that.
now let's talk about your dog, and we're going to show some video with the dog.
Okay.
What's the name of your dog? How long have you had him?
Blackie is a boy, and I've had him for 3 years.
Okay, and it's a lab?
Yep.
A black lab?
Black lab. I had a canine before him. His name was Justice, and he was a German Shepherd. I had him approximately 3 years.
Okay, I remember Justice.
Yep.
Now, these canine units with the state police, what's really the purpose of having a canine unit?
It's try to remove, with my job, I do drug interdiction. So
Okay.
I'm trying to remove the drugs coming through and going from Indiana to other places. Our dogs do several different things. Mine is basically a narcotics dog. We have other dogs that do tracking, that find lost people or suspects who ran from us. We also have, they're called patrol dogs, which they do the attack work. If someone's attacking us or someone else, the dog can bite them and stop them from doing that.
So your dog is mostly, though, a drug sniffer?
Drugs, and that's his only job right now.
Okay, so how do you train a dog to find drugs?
It's not too hard, but initially you take the drugs and put them in, we use boxes, and we take the dogs to that odor and we teach them to set, and they're rewarded when they smell that odor. So you just do that repeatedly, and that becomes ingrained in the dog, and then he knows once I smell that odor that I set, and I get rewarded.
Okay, now, can you sniff a car without a warrant, or is that really maybe an advantage of having a canine unit?
It is. You can, if you have a reasonable suspicion when you stop a vehicle, you can run a canine around the vehicle to detect the odor of narcotics.
Okay, and you'll also use them obviously in houses.
Yes, houses, and we do a lot of schools. We go to the schools, and they request us to come to the schools, sniff the lockers and vehicles in the parking lots, and we do several other demonstrations and PIO things at different places.
Okay, now what's a PIO?
We call it a public information officer. Okay. We'll go out to the public, whoever requests, they can call the post and ask for. We have 3 canines total in the Jasper district. One works in Perry County, one works in Orange County, but anywhere in the district they can request that a canine demo be done, and our dogs will come out and show them what we do.
Okay, so this dog is your partner.
Yes.
Right, and always rides with you in the car.
Yes.
Now, you're a full trooper.
Right.
So are you doing mostly canine? Are you doing trooper work? How does your day kind of divide?
I do different things than some of the regular road troopers. I concentrate on drug interdiction. So I go to different facilities and check different areas, usually daily. And then I also mainly work the interstate.
Okay, now with these dogs, is there a what variety of drugs can they find?
There's 6 different odors: marijuana, methamphetamine, crack cocaine, regular cocaine, heroin, and ecstasy are the odors that we train on.
Okay, and so if he finds drugs in the car or smells drugs at a car, what does he do?
Mine is a passive dog, which just means he sets. He'll sit and stare usually at the odor that he's picked up. There are some dogs that are aggressive that scratch when they pick up the odor, but we train ours mainly to be passive and set.
Okay, and I don't know the laws, but if you would pull somebody over and you suspect drug use, you can't just go into the car, can you?
No.
Okay, so the dog would then sniff it and set.
Yep.
Then does that give you the right to go because he is saying there's drugs in here?
Yeah,
okay,
he's picked up the odor.
Okay, and same with a house or.
Well,
I guess you could use
house
them.
is a little more different.
Okay.
You have a lot more privacy at a house than you do a vehicle stop on the side of the road. We usually, once we get the probable cause, we have to apply for a search warrant for the house to search it, unless given consent to search the house.
Okay, now, what kind of hours do you work? Because I'd imagine, are you on call 24/7?
Oh, yes, yes. I mainly work Monday through Friday, though. Right now, I work a day shift. My schedule is flexible. I can work whenever I want. I choose to work days because that's what most of the people in our section do. But at any time, you're on duty 24 hours a day. They can call and say, we need your dog here, and so we load up and go.
What is the most rewarding part of being, I know being a trooper has its own rewards, but what's the most rewarding part of being a canine handler?
I enjoy putting people in jail that belong in jail. That's what I like. If you deal drugs, I don't think you're doing the proper thing in society, and I believe you ought to be punished for that. So that's the most rewarding part of my job, that I believe. I love to watch dogs work too, because it's amazing of what they can do.
Now, your dog is a sniffer, but is he protective of you?
Yes, if someone's close to the car, he'll bark. And there's certain other things that he doesn't like. Construction workers, he doesn't like that. People on bicycles and motorcycles, I don't know why, but a lot of the dogs are aggressive towards those. I don't know if it's because it looks like people are running from them or something, but they're aggressive. And they're real protective of their cars. If anybody gets close to the car, then they'll start barking.
How old is Blackie?
He's 6.
So he's a pretty old, because he acts like a puppy.
Oh, yeah. He has a lot of energy.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
What's the most rewarding part of being a trooper?
Just helping people. Yeah. You know, out of all the things I've done in my career, the best was I had the opportunity to use a defibrillator on a guy that had a heart attack and had died in a crash. And that's probably been the most rewarding out of anything that I've done. And that's, I mean, I've seized a lot of drugs and money, but just helping people is the most rewarding.
Now, what's the biggest bust that you've had? What's the biggest, I guess you'd call that a score that the dog has had?
My biggest one was with my last dog, Justice. We had a traffic stop on the interstate and located $186,000 in cash that was in a compartment that was hid in the vehicle. Then I've had a couple other ones. There was one towards Evansville that was 220 pounds of marijuana. But those have been the bigger ones that I've been involved in.
Okay. And if somebody sees it, I mean, dogs strike fear in people, which is one reason to have a canine with you. But also, when they come to the school, that's a good thing. That's a positive thing, and I think kids love dogs.
Yes, they do. And it also lets them know that there is drug dogs out there, that if they bring something illegal to school, that it can be found. And it deters a lot of the problems in the school.
So don't do it in the first place.
Right.
Best not to even start.
Right.
Is there anything that you'd like to add?
No.
Well, Trooper LaRoche, we appreciate you for coming on and being with us with your dog Blackie.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to thank a lot of the community that's donated money for my prior dog and this dog. The prosecutor's office here in Du Bois County and the Du Bois County Substance Abuse has donated a lot of money towards the dogs, and I appreciate that. And there's some other groups that have donated towards the dogs, and it's always helpful. Our group, our department doesn't fully fund the dogs, so we have to go out and get that money. So I appreciate everyone for helping.
Okay, well, the one other question I did have made me think of it. Is there some sort of continuing education that a dog has to undergo? Does he once a year have to be
certified
or something?
He's certified. We train every month.
Okay.
Probably 4 or 5 hours at a time, where we go and we hide drugs in different locations. And we go and just practice, just like anything else. Like if you're involved in sports or anything, you have to maintain and practice, and that's what we do.
Got to keep him sharp.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much,
All
Trooper.
right.
Our guest has been Trooper Brian LaRoche. He is a canine unit handler with the State Police post here in Jasper. Thank you for watching WJTS in.form. We are local people watching local people.